All right, today we're going to dive into something that's inside every single one of us, working nonstop 24/7. We're talking about blood, but forget thinking of it as just red liquid. We're going to see it for what it truly is, a complex, living system, an absolutely incredible team of specialists all working together to keep you alive.
So, have you ever actually wondered what's really inside a single drop of your own blood? If you could zoom in, what would you see? Well, spoiler alert, it's not just one thing, it's a whole world, a bustling microscopic metropolis. Okay, let's dive in and take a look.
And this is that world. It's a dynamic, crowded environment, teeming with millions of individual parts, and every single one has a specific job to do. Seriously, think of it like a superhero team operating inside your body. You've got your couriers, your elite defense force, and your emergency repair crew, all floating along in this liquid highway.
So, first things first, let's talk about the environment this team operates in. Let's talk about the river of life.
So what is this river even made of? Well, believe it or not, more than half of it is a yellowish liquid called plasma. Most of the rest, that big chunk there, is red blood cells. And see that tiny little sliver? Just 1%? That's your white blood cells and platelets. Now, they might be small in number, but trust me, their impact is absolutely huge.
Okay, time for introductions. Let's officially meet the key players that make up this ultimate team. First up is plasma, and it's kind of the unsung hero of the whole group. Think of it as the superhighway of your body. It's the liquid that everything else travels in. Without plasma, all the other cells would just be, well, stuck. It carries them, plus all the nutrients, hormones, and waste products, to literally every corner of your body.
All right, next up we have the most famous members of the team, the red blood cells. These guys are your dedicated oxygen couriers. Their one and only mission is to pick up oxygen from your lungs and deliver it to every single cell that needs it. They're literally the reason you have the energy to move, to think, to do anything at all. And then you've got the security detail, the white blood cells. These are your body's elite defense force. They are constantly on patrol, hunting down invaders like bacteria and viruses. They are the vigilant guardians standing between you and getting sick.
And finally, we have the platelets. And get this, they aren't even really whole cells. They're like these tiny little fragments. But they are your emergency response unit. The second there's a breach, a cut or a scrape, they are the first ones on the scene ready to plug that leak.
Okay, so every member of this team has a super critical job, right? Let's start with the logistics and see how plasma and red blood cells run the body's ultimate delivery service.
I mean, just look at this delivery manifest. It's insane. Plasma's grabbing oxygen from the lungs, digested food from your intestines, hormones from glands, and at the same time, it's also the garbage truck hauling carbon dioxide back to the lungs and other waste from the liver to the kidneys. It's the busiest highway you can imagine, with traffic going both ways 24/7. But when it comes to the most important package of all, oxygen, the red blood cells have a secret weapon. It's a special protein called haemoglobin. This stuff is amazing. It's what lets them snag oxygen molecules in the lungs, it's what gives blood that bright red color, and it's what lets them release that oxygen exactly where it's needed most.
So, the delivery service is humming along, but what happens when your body gets attacked? Well, that's when you need your microscopic bodyguards, the white blood cells.
And they've got this awesome two-pronged attack strategy. First, you've got your special ops unit, the lymphocytes. These are the brains of the operation. They create custom-made weapons called antibodies to take out very specific enemies. Some of them even remember the bad guy, so if it ever comes back, the takedown is instant. Then, you've got the infantry, the phagocytes. Their game plan is, well, a little more direct. They just straight up eat the invaders.
And wow, right here you can see that infantry attack happening in real time. That big blob is a phagocyte, and it's literally hunting down and consuming those smaller bacteria. It is a microscopic battle, and you are looking at the absolute front line of your immune system. So how does this takedown actually work? It's a four-step process. First, the phagocyte has to engage the target. Then it starts to engulf it, wrapping its own body around the bacteria and trapping them in a little bubble. Step 3, digest. It pumps powerful enzymes into that bubble to just dissolve the bacteria and finally absorb. Any useful bits are absorbed back into the cell. It's brutal and it is incredibly efficient. Okay, so your defenses are strong, but what if something breaks through the walls? What happens when you get a cut? That's when the call goes out for the emergency repair crew, the platelets. And this is what they build. This incredible, fibrous web is a blood clot. I know it looks chaotic, but this is a perfectly engineered safety net. This structure right here is the only thing that stops you from bleeding out and prevents germs from flooding into your body through an open wound.
So how in the world do they build this barricade so fast? It's all about a super fast chain reaction. First, the damaged blood vessel sends out a signal that activates the platelets. They rush to the scene and release chemicals, which starts a cascade of events. The main event is converting a liquid protein called fibrinogen into a solid, sticky fiber called fibrin. It's kind of like turning liquid glue into a super strong, sticky net, instantly. That fibrin mesh then traps red blood cells, and boom, you have a solid plug we call a clot.
And the job's not even done yet. On the surface of your skin, that clot dries out and becomes a scab. And a scab isn't just a sign that you're healing. It's an active protective shield. It's a hardened barrier that keeps all the nasty stuff out, while your skin regenerates safely underneath.
So think about it. You've got delivery, defense, and repair, all happening at the exact same time all the time. It is a beautifully complex, coordinated system that never ever sleeps.
So what's the big takeaway here? It's this. Every single second of every single day, your blood team is on its mission, transporting supplies, clearing out the trash, fighting off invaders, and patching up any damage. It's the absolute definition of teamwork.
And the wildest part? This entire incredible team, this army, this delivery service, this repair crew, it's all working for you, right now, this very second. It responds to everything you do, what you eat, how you move, when you rest. So, the only question left is what will you ask it to do next?